Welcome if you're watching on playback. Welcome to another live Q&A from Sandhurst Lake on this Tuesday night with me, Leon BARTROPP. Just wait for everyone to come in. If it's the first time you're here and you like these type of videos and you want to see more of these type of videos and lots of vlogs and how-to videos, then you may want to think about subscribing. If you subscribe, don't forget, hit that bell notification icon and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video or go live. Well, welcome everybody. Everybody's piling in now. 44 people, 64 people in the room. Blimey, it's crazy, isn't it? Already. Good to see you all. Let's just get a little bit more straight here. That's a bit better. Evening to everybody. Hope everyone's well and enjoying their Tuesday night. Kettle's already on, Raymond. Kettle's already on. Yorkshire tea gold in here. Evening to everybody. Hope everybody's well. Just wait for everyone to come into the room. Might be a bit better like that actually. Let's see if I can. Evening to Carpy Stevo, Gav Matthews, Adam Hollins, God, Paul One Carpy, evening. No bites yet, Stuart Blackley. Very quiet, although I did see a fish today show about 30 yards to the left of my left-hand rod. So I whacked, I reeled in the rod and whacked it out to it on a single just to see if anything happens. Because I did see one today in that wind. Evening Danny, Wayne Tonks. Yeah, it's very cold at the moment. Water temperature was yesterday was 6.5. Today it's gone down to 4.9. Unbelievably cold, isn't it? Let's see if I can get a bit better light here. That's better. Got a bit better light now. Evening to everyone. Hope everyone's well. Andrew Butcher says to do a day session on a very shallow lake tomorrow, approximately 4 foot deep, max or not. It's going to be another cold one tomorrow, I believe, Andrew, but it might just be nice just to be out. You never know. As long as you've got a rod in that water, you've always got a chance of a bite. Richard Short said it's 6.2 degrees where he is. Russ, but yeah, dog's leg's fine. Yep, he had no worries with that. No, not the Rhino lens, Adam. I've got the Ridge Monkey light shining down. Evening, Brian Mills. Jason Sooty, evening. They retired the old links today, Leon. They'll miss it, most definitely. Yep, still catching it, it freezes. Not caught anything at all. Not yet, anyway. Won't catch them at home, will we? Hey, 205 people in the room already. Well, evening to everybody. How is everybody? And is there anybody else out there mad enough? There's me and the carp dog who's stuck in there. Look, I'll give you the carp dog. Look, look. There he is. All you can see is his legs. All you can see is his legs. Where are you? Look, here he is. God. What's he like, eh? What's he like? Mike Swift asked, what rigs have I got? And I've got those little combi rigs on with a size 5 curve shank, little 10mm pop up and a maggot cluster on top. Amnesia boom section and a little bit of braid. Oh look, look, here he is, look, he's out and about. You want to go out? He wants to go, look. Look at him, look. Coming in or you going out? He's going out, I think. He's decided he wants to go out. Yeah, all the heat will be gone. My heating bill will be going up, that's for certain. Matthew Dinley says, how do you feel about curve hooks with coated hook lengths? Seems to just too close, the gap up too much. I like to have a little bit of suppleness. If I'm using a bottom bait, or like the pop-up I'm using now with a curved shank, I want that suppleness. I want that curve. The way the curved shank's designed is it flips. So I want that to flip as it's coming out of the mouth or going in the mouth. I want it to move like it's meant to. If you've got a stiff section on there, it's not going to move how it's designed to. It doesn't mean you're still not going to catch anything with it. It just means it's not moving how it's meant to designed to be moved. Hi, Andrew Crossley. Shropshire Carp Score said new Nash pinpoint hooks look spot on. Yeah, well, the sharpening system is the hooks, I believe, which my friend, I know Mark Vusen, who owns Pinpoint Hooks, he's had a lot of input into them, so they're going to be good. I've yet to see them yet, but I will be at the next show. Clive Portelli says, hi Leon, he's going to Crystal Waters in France in April. Have you ever fished there before? No, I've never fished there before, Crystal Waters. Don't really know a lot about it. But I'm sure if you look at the website, or someone in here might be able to give you a little bit of a heads up on it, who's been there before. Wayne Rule says he fished the pipes Friday night, not a bleep. No, I know there's someone in there at the moment, Wayne. I don't think he's had anything. I haven't had a chance to chat to him, but I did see one fish today out about 30 yards to the left of my left-hand rod, but 80 yards out, so I reeled in my left-hand rod and banged it on top of it, and we shall see what happens. Dominic Tomlin says, would you recommend a deeper for finding clearings on a very weedy lake? Yes, Dominic, definitely Dominic. I use the deeper as a tool when I use it. I don't use it very often, but I use it as a tool. So I much prefer just a lead and a rig to find the spots. But those difficult to find spots, if I can't find them, or I want to put the deeper out there just to see if there's any other sort of spots in the area, or where the weed bed ends, then you can't go wrong with that. Use it as a tool. That's what it's there for. Oh, Jamie Matilda, little shout out. MJ Moore, hope you're well. Neil Bryce says, hi Leon, have you fished Float Fish Farms, Peterborough? No, I haven't. Thanks, Colgie. Yeah, it's going to be, Ronnie, it's going to be really windy again from tomorrow night, early hours, and through to Thursday. I should be gone tomorrow, working tomorrow afternoon. Chris Barker says, what swim you in? I'm in the car park swim. The carp dog's gone missing. He's gone out. Normally he comes back. He ain't come back. He'll be back in a minute, hopefully. Ben Wallace says, fished on week, wood solid, but here he is. He's just come back. Look, he's been on his travels with his new coat on. Look, he's been on his travels, trying to burn himself on the cooker. Bless him. Right, you coming in, Tom? Zip up. Come on in. Up you come. Up you come, go on. There he goes. That's it, we're back, zips up, and he's lying down. Well, going to be lying down. Look at him, look. Loves it. He's just been out for a little venture. Probably chasing some rats. Temperature I've got, the water temperature's 5.1 today, between 5.1 and 5.5. It's gone down from 6.5. All you've got is a big tail there now, haven't you? He's just trying to get in on the action. So the water temperature's taken a drastic drop today here anyway. Pascal says, hi Leon, do you think Ronnie bottom presentation with balanced bottom bait, swivel, not ring in a situation, bottom baits? I think you've got a lot better rigs out there. For if you're going to fish a bottom bait, why not try the D rig? It's a really good bottom bait rig with either fluorocarbon or a 20-pound clear amnesia or dark amnesia. Can you hear him? Can you hear him moaning? Moaning because he wants one of these. Look. He wants one of these. wasn't he? That's what he wants, he's moaning. He's having a moan, he wants something to eat. No, I'm not on the Park Lake Carpenters Dreams, I'm at Sandhurst. I'm in the car park from Sandhurst. Yeah, multi-rig's pretty good for a bottom bait as well. Also, another little trick with that is to make the multi-rig bit really stiff if you can for bottom baits. That works well as well. I'm good, Carp Rigs, how are you? Evening, George Vane. Evening, James Hall. Yeah, I'll be keeping the fluffy one warm. He'll be keeping me warm. You don't need a hot water bottle with him because he keeps your feet warm in the bottom of the bag, bless him. Wayne, he does get better food. You wouldn't believe, Wayne, what he gets indoors from Mrs. B. She treats him like a bloody person. Will Barnes says, hi Leon, what hook pattern would you suggest for the D-rig? It's got to be a choddy type hook with an out-turned eye. Use a double bait as well, it works really well. That's what I had a lot of those fish, well, most of the fish on the Park Lake this summer and spring. Look, he wants another one. Now he's turned his nose at a bit. Clive Portelli says, do I like the Ronnie rig? Not really, it's not. I've put it on for about half an hour. I mean, it catches plenty of fish. I know loads of guys that use it, but it's not my thing, the Ronnie rig. I don't really like it. I'm using my, if you watch the yesterday's vlog, I'm using that combi rig on there. I find it's a lot better than the Ronnie rig, but it's each to their own. George Vane said he's wearing his black chicken hoodie to Brentwood. Good, I'll see you there. He is a person. Dominic, he is a person, I tell you. He eats better than me. Brian, on the ones that I use, they're slightly interned. Slightly interned. Back to Dower Sensor and Gardner Pro Light, Dominic. Yeah, the Pro Light, you won't go far wrong with that. The Dower Sensor, it's just never ending, that one. You know, it's been around for about 30 years, it's still going strong. Hello from Texas, Clifton Nichols. Hi to you as well. 266 people in the room. Keith Oakey, evening. Diet's going very well, Clive. Going very well. I've lost about 6 or 7 pounds in the last couple of weeks, and not out of me back pocket like Mrs. B keeps saying to me. Thanks, Wayne. Ben Wallace says, fishing in weed, would you fish solid bags or zigs? I'd go for the bags myself. David Smith says, thanks for the mug, Leon. Love it. Great. No problem at all, David. Don't forget, guys, you can get these mugs, these black chicken mugs, off my website, and the hoodies and the little bobble hats and that. www.leoncarper.com if that's your thing. Stuart Blackley's out on Friday at Bushy Park. So have you fished on? I haven't fished on the Royal Parks. I wish I had years ago. I would have loved to have. Bushy Park, a friend of mine keeps saying you've got to come down. There's some lovely fish in there. Andy, no, you can't use zigs on here. Otherwise, I would have 3 zigs on at the moment. Believe me. What line am I using? I am using GTHD 15 pound. Ben Osborne says, evening. Oh, anyone got any tips on Elphick's North Lake going on the 26th for 48 hours? Never fished it. There's 2 ways to fish Elphick's, all the lakes there. I know guys that fish it all the time. They either fish with the zigs or they fish on the maggots, Ben. Mike Swift, this is the Fortis jacket. The Fortis one, this is. Graham Turner says, evening mate, still keeping on, looking to go back to monoline this year because of distance. Any views? I would probably, the Gardner Pro Light's good for casting as well. So is the GTHD. I mean, when it goes on new, like most lines, you can cast a long way with it. Jay Hall said, hi Leon, could you do a rig making video at some point? I am going to be doing videos on rigs, on the combi rig, actually how to make it from scratch. I'm going to be doing one on the hinge stiff the D rig, quite a few rigs. I'm just gonna do them indoors in a better environment with a proper camera looking down, so you can see exactly how I make them up and the reasons behind them. I'm also going to be doing videos on different hook patterns and what type of rig and presentation lends themselves to that pattern. Just going a little bit more in depth, you know. Hi Graham Rowland, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Yes, Neil Harvey. Yep, you've got to be in it to win it though in this weather, haven't you? Tyrell says, me and my dad done a 24 hours, but not a nibble. Got any tips, mate? At the moment, I would say singles. I really do. Or little bags. Just don't give them as much feed because the water temperature's up and down. It's fluctuating between 6 and 4 degrees. You'd be lucky to get a bite at the moment. No fish been out at all for 10 days on here. Been very quiet. Carpy Stevo says, can't believe people are buying the Nash heater. He's tried many candle heaters. They're a waste of time. Just stick with Coleman on low. That's what I've got on. I've got my Coleman on. Look. Got my Coleman on there. Got it on low, very low. That lasts about 4 hours on a full tank on the low. Lifelong Vlog says, evening Leon, what would you recommend as the best winter hook bait for carp? The one that they're feeding on. There's lots of different good winter hook baits. Single pop-ups, maize, that little spicy sausage stuff. Can't remember what it is. Always forget what that is. The chili one. Tiger nuts work in the winter as well, believe it or not. Aaron Paul says, have you used a leadless lead core? I tried to use it, but I couldn't splice it or connect it or anything like that, so I give up on it. Very cold, Graham, isn't it? Pepper Army, Dominic, thanks. I think this unit reminds me every bloody time. I keep forgetting it. Pepper Army is a good little, even though it's oily, it's a good, it just seems to sort the fish out sometimes. Pascal says, Leon, what do you think of the Ronnie rig in style naked chod? In this case, I use a pop-up 18mm because breams, size hook in this situation. If you're using an 18mm pop-up, then I'd be using a big hook, like at least I use a 4 at the moment for my pop-up rigs, for my 15mm baits. So an 18mm, 4. It's got to be a 4, isn't it? No problem, Ty. Neil Harvey says he's watched my zig rig videos and bought zig tackle to give him a try soon. Cheers, mate. No problem, Neil. This time of year and into spring is the best time to use zigs, I tell you. It really is. Oh, Oak Carp has been smashing it. He's had 53 fish he's had in the last 4 weeks on his lake. Well done. That is some going this time of year. Keep Oakley says, Leon, where did you get the maggot clusters from? I just got them off eBay. From Evolution Tackle. There's loads of different colours. There's pink, there's yellow, there's orange, there's white. I used the yellow, white, pink and the orange. Yep, I do use my Neville receiver. Here it is. The 4-1. I quite like it. I love my Nevilles. Carp dog's good. He's moaning at the moment. He wants more food. He's being a pest. Being a pain. Being a pain. Look. No problem, Oak Carp. Mr. White Rash. Yep, a little shout out. David Bell says, yes, the hoodie that I've got on is on my site, David. No, not this one. This is the navy one. This one won't be released for another couple of weeks. Bailey Hewitt says he went on a 24-hour session and he caught 2 30-pounders. Well done, Bailey. That's really good angling this time of year. It's better than I'm doing at the moment, that's for certain. Dominic. Ben Wallace says, what fishing bed do you say, as I need a new one? I use 2 different ones. This one for winter, I like a bit of luxury. I like to be able to have a good sleep and have some space with me and the carp dog. This is the Fox low light or something like that, wherever it is, with the sleep system in it. The one I use for just moving about really quickly is the Witchwood, the small one, the Witchwood one. I think it's about 80 quid or 70 quid or 90, something like that. That one's really good, really light. I think it's the lightest one on the market. Clyde Portelli says, what size do you go up to in the hoodies? We go up to, in the black chicken ones, in all the colours, up to size 2XL, and then we go from 3XL, 4XL and 5XL in the heather grey. There we go. Ben Wallace says, the Tracker RLX compact straight 6 leg is good for the money at 97 quid. That's not a bad price, that, is it? That's it, compact. Thomas Henry Myers, compact. Witchwood compact is the one I use. How small do we go? We do children's sizes as well, and we do small in adults. Why am I vaping? Because I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. The brown ones, I'm not sure. I don't think they are, because they're a better quality one, but they're not that much better. I'm just trying to source some more of the brown ones at a realistic price, so I don't have to put them up from $29.99 for the brown ones. Because the brown and the navy ones and the charcoal ones, I think personally, are the best ones. Richard Schultz said, what was the power pack that I use? It's this one, the one that I use. Well, I use 2. I use the Ridge Monkey one, and I use the EC Technology one. Those are the 2 that I use. Thanks, Oak Carp. It says, good price for it. It's not bad, mate. That includes delivery as well. That includes delivery. Delivery is 7 to 10 working days, though. They do take a long time to arrive. Yes, Keith Oak, he says, Leon, am I attaching the maggot clusters with dental floss? I am. What I do is, I put the pop-up on, then I put the maggot cluster on the dental floss, tie a knot, but don't knot it totally. Then I put a float stop in, tie 1, 2 overhand, 3 overhands, cut it, and then blob it with those lighters. Where's it gone? I've got one here somewhere. With these lighters. One of them lighters, the windproof ones. Get the spam on, Luke Wicks keeps telling me. Evening Elvis Berry, 296 people in the house. Bloody hell. Crazy, isn't it? Cartrig says, what do you think of the fish spy camera, and have I ever used it? I haven't. I've seen them sort of in action at the shows, but I've never used one. Oak Carp says, how much is the Ridge Monkey charge? I think they're quite expensive, the Ridge Monkey, but it's never let me down. About 140 quid, I think. Mick Wall says, it's snowing where I am. I think it tried to earlier on, but wasn't. Joe the Fish, evening as well, mate. Yeah, it's very chilly tonight. That's why I've got the old heater on. Yeah. It's right, the carp dog's playing up. Evening, Cold G. Yep, Lenny, diet is still on track. I've lost about 6 pounds, which is really good. God, 234 Cheats says he's got a whiteout up there, so it's been really it's been really snowing. Carp dog wants to go out again. He's chasing something now. It's like snowing like mad in Manchester, is it? Bloody hell, that's crazy, isn't it? Low pressure though, and you've got that cold wind, and if it rains, it's going to snow, isn't it? Evening, Billy. Bill Oakley. Big up the carp dog, yeah. Can I? Rooster Nelthorpe says, Leon, can you do boxer shorts if it only takes one bite? I don't think so, not at the moment anyway. No problem, George. Be lucky in the BYCAC. Be lucky, mate. Chris Burns says, what's your PB, Leon? In England, it's 56.3, which I was lucky enough to catch this year. See you later, Mr. White Rash. Can't Fishing Dream says, don't know how you keep up this live feed. Well, I miss a lot of questions, which is unfortunate. But I try and scroll back on my phone, on my iPad or whatever I'm using at the time. Evening Welsh carping. Keith Oakey says he doesn't rate the fish bite. He had one for 5 minutes. They sold it. You need a house brick to keep it down. Don't waste your money. Blimey, I didn't realise. Oh yeah, I suppose if it's got all that air in it and everything else, that plastic, you're going to need a big old lead to keep it down, aren't you? Oak Carp says, where did you catch your PB? From the Park Lake. John Tinsey said, what hook pattern do you use for the wafter rig? For a wafter rig, it depends on what rig I'm using. If I'm just using a coated braid, I suppose I'd use probably a long shank, actually. That was last year, Brian, 2017. Camo hoodie would be brilliant, wouldn't it, David Bell? Just got a sauce one, that's the thing. Hi, to be sure. I hope you're all right. What's the plan of attack tonight? Keep warm, I think. Keep warm with the carp dog. Oak Carp says, do you have to get a membership for the Park Lake? Yes, it's Wellington Country Park. It only takes one bite, boxers, surely. I know, Dominic, I know. Yep, thanks for popping in, Clive Portelli. Good to see you, mate. He's off to watch Graham. Good to see you, mate. He's off to watch the Leicester game coming up. I've got the maggot clusters on tonight, Keith. I've got a little 10mm pop up on that little combi rig I use and a maggot cluster on top. God, carp dog's playing right up. Come on, let me come. Come on. What do you want? He's trying to get his bone underneath the bed. What have we got in here, look? Yeah. He's proper playing up tonight, he is. Unfortunately, Aaron Paul, it is membership and a remortgage. Unfortunately, it's very expensive. Don't think I'll be joining next year. Or this year, should I say. Ben Wallace says, how far do you fish out in the winter? All depends where the fish are or where I think the fish are. Carp dog is on a mission. Look at him, look. He's proper playing up tonight. He's proper playing up. What do you want? What are you after? He's got his bone here somewhere and he can't find it. Let me just try and find his bone for him. Keep him quiet. Out of the way, out of the way. Right, we've managed to find his bone. This is his bone. He can't be doing without it. Right, he should be a little bit quieter now. He's on his bone now like you wouldn't believe. I've got the clusters on all 3 rods, Keith. I've got 3 different, well no, I've got the same pop-ups on. I've got 2 white, 1 pink, little 10mm, and I've got 2 white clusters and 1 pink cluster. Colgate Barney is the real star of the feed, to tell you. Pork chop, he is, proper pork chop. Simon, I am in the car park swim. He's causing havoc tonight, the old pork chop, and he? Look, he's happy now, look. He's happy now. He's munching. He's happy now, he's got his bone. Alan Dixon says, what are people's thoughts on the Terry Hearns rod? I used to have a set of the Mark 1s, Terry Hearn Mark 1s, couldn't fault them, really liked them. Short walk for him, yeah, definitely. Carp dog's name is Barney, Barney the carp dog. Happy he's a sand boy now, Jason, definitely. Matty Russ says, why don't you use the multi on 10mm pop-ups instead of the combi rig? Because the multi rig is, I like to use it a certain way with the chod rig on it, and I want something which is a lot lower, and the combi rig, the hook's almost touching. I have such a small flexible bit that I get it really low because there's no weed in here. No, as long as I don't leave the bone in the bag, as long as I have it out for him. Evening, Chris Lowe. David Bell said, have you tested the dive deep putty stuff? What do you think? I think it's pretty good. It's good for rubbing up and down your hook links and that. It's not good. It doesn't mould, doesn't sort of set. It's good if you're using braided hook links, just to rub it up and down, or you want a bit of your line you want to rub up and down. It's pretty good like that. Hi Matt, good to see you. Thanks for the kind words. I'm not sure whether he'd be at the Northern Angling Show, Terry Hearn. He may be. It's a bit like the swimmer rig, Sean, the combi rig. I don't do the puffer jackets. You can get these for Fortis, or you can get the army ones, the army puffer jackets. They're very good as well. No worries, Sean Woolley. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, I've got my cup this week though. Last week, schoolboy error, I left my cup at home, didn't I? I was having to eat out of a bloody drink out of a sports bottle thing. Chris Burns, he says, how long does it take you to find the right spot? Depends on the lake, whether I've fished the swim before. If I'm going on a new lake, it might take me hours to find the right spot that feels right. Evening, Barry Parsons, thanks for the kind words. Dean Woolard says, what have you got coming up to review? Friday will be the Tackle Safe by Calder, and then I'm not sure what after then. Oh, Bank Boy Ben Stevens, he's off the Farlows tomorrow. Good luck, mate. Alec Hansen says, what rods do you recommend use? Got 300 to 400 pound a rod. I use the old Lion Carp ones, but you can't get them anymore. The Free Spirit ones are good, or Harrison's are good rods. For that money, you should be able to get whatever you want. Joe the Fishers, do you rate it? I actually quite like it. I'm actually quite impressed with it. I haven't got much Calder stuff, but that tackle save, I splashed out on that, and the compact box, and it's cut my tackle down by, you wouldn't believe. As long as those magnets hold up, which we'll find out, then it's a good addition to my kit. Morgan 1062, evening. Yeah, I didn't like that Chinese burner that I sort of was in the last blog, did I? I think they're quite dangerous. You can easily knock them over, and I can't really see the point of it. What about the crank hooks? I've never used the crank hooks. Am I going to use the Nash tea light heater? No. Good old Coleman, you can't beat it. Terry Brown says, hi Leon, have you ever used any gear from Bank Tackle? Seems too cheap to be any good. What you'll find is a lot of these smaller tackle companies, they source their hooks and their beads and their rig tubing all from the same place. So they all match the muchness. So I wouldn't worry about the price. I'd just give them a go. Their hooks are sharp. Leon, how do you source your new waters, or do you get invited? No, I have to go on a list like everybody else. I have to just try and source them, put my name on the waiting list just like everybody else. Ben Wallace, good to see you, mate. Thanks for popping in. Tommy Dukes, hi Leon, what's your thoughts on shelf life baits being potentially a real danger to carp's life? And I was put on Facebook page that was a real read and eye-opener. I don't think they're a danger to carp's life, because at the end of the day, 70 to 80% of all bait that goes in lakes is shelf life. And with the stuff that's put in them nowadays, there's not a lot of difference. And if the truth be known, a lot of frozen bait has got a little bit of that preservative in them anyway. It's not snowing here, no, not snowing at all. I'm looking out the bivvy door. Thanks, Hope Carp. Kind regard. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. UK Carper, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Mark Nutty says, hi Leon, any chance we would do a video on your setup, rods, reels, and would you recommend SSP for the French trip? Yes, most definitely. They're a good bait. All bait is good bait. You know, it's difficult to make a bait that won't catch your fish. It depends on what you're looking for. If you want a sort of all-season mix, or if you want a fish meal mix. There's a new fish meal mix coming out called Monster X by SSP. Which is a good one if you're going to France. That's what I'll be using. That's what I was using as well this spring and summer. Ian Smith says Crank X is a very strong hook, but it's a very aggressive hook hold. Yeah, it is. They look too aggressive for me. Yep, Graham Rowland, bank tackle hooks are good. As I said, most of those sort of smaller companies, without wanting to do them any of disservice, they all source their hooks from the same place, so they're much the muchness. David Bell says, when do we get to see this square rig? If you'd been in the internal Facebook page, it only takes one bite. I put a picture of it up there about a week ago, and most people slagged it off from what I could see. But the people who really know the benefit of it and have seen it in use, they could see how it would catch fish. The Obsessive Carper, good to see you, Darren. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, it's cold tonight. I've got the Coleman on the light. Darren, what was that heater that you were saying on your blogs that you were really impressed with? The probiotic heater or something like that, which runs on gas? Chris Burns says, do you ever roll your own baits, little salt flavours? I roll my own corkball pop-ups with whatever base mix I'm using. Trev Reeson says, will you be going abroad fishing this year? I'm going to France in May for a week. And hopefully going to Germany fishing as well some point this year. Morgan says, Leon, covered my boilies with Himalayan salt and cured them 24 hours. What do you think? I think it takes quite a lot longer to cure them properly. You're talking weeks, months even, to cure that that Himalayan salt into the boilies. But it might work. I don't use salt personally. Robert Harriman says, we're all keen to fish and bank fish. Would you like to see a close season across all waters? Would it help catch more fish in the long run, resting waters like the old days? I don't know. It's a really interesting and good question, that. I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't go fishing for 3 months. Evening, Charles Pennington. Anthony Gibbons says, hi Leon, where are you fishing in France? I'm going to be fishing at a place called Etang Monnier. I've been there a couple of times before, but not for many years. Charlie UK, good to see you, mate. Carl Williams just got a skull cap for the Tempest. did you leave yours on? Any trouble taking the bivvy down with it on? No, I take mine off. I just think it's an accident waiting to happen if you keep it on there. I take mine off so I can dry it out properly. Yeah, 285, Dom. Good, isn't it? Parabolic heater, best by far, Peter Marriott says. Graham Rowland, that was a curveball. Everybody would be on the square rig. Problem is, Graham, as well as you know, you can put the rig out there, but very, very, very few people will actually tie it up because they can't be bothered. Mr. Heater from Amazon, Anthony Gibbons says, I need a log burner. I do in this weather. Yep, you're quite right, Gary. He says he says to people, best to see elks before you buy, because one size 6 will be different to others. Couldn't agree more. I always like to see, if I want to try a new hook out, or I like the look of it, it takes me a while before I buy it to actually have a look at it, to think, yeah, that might work on a rig or something like that. Chris Burns says, do you take the carp dog abroad to fish? I have done. He's been to Holland with me fishing before. I shall be at the Northern Angling Show, Chris Lowe. Come and say hello. Yeah, definitely give it a go, Keith. The square rig. Honestly, if you're fishing the margins, that's placing it or put it in a PVA bag. Don't cast it out anywhere. You've got to place it. It's a brilliant rig for the spring and summer. Lenny B says, what's your thoughts on Germany? France getting books up like mad lately, looking for a change. Try Holland as well, Lenny. Some lovely fish over there. Lawrence Latt, here we go. The Obsessive Carper says, parabolic gas heater, 25 quid on eBay, excellent heat and good on gas. Thanks for that, Darren, the Obsessive Carper. I'm probably going to buy one of them after your recommendation. Mike Blake says, thunder and lightning with snow now here in Manchester. Never seen that before. No, it's crazy, isn't it, Mike? Good to see you, Mike, anyway. Hope you're better. Yep, Oak Carp, he uses a square rig, look. Mike Swift said, what's the best looking lake you have fished? The best looking lake, blimey. I quite like Save. That was quite a nice lake to fish. Paul Pocket one says, evening Leon, had any runs or beeps? Nothing at all. Blankety blank, checkbook and pen. Haven't had a bite from a fish for over a month now, but I did see one today. So I'm blanking with the best of them at the moment. Keith Oakley says, Leon, looks easy enough, Leon, to tie. You've got to use that right knot. It's a sea fishing knot or pattern oyster knot or something like that, because it is square. It's like, and you put a loop in the other end with a swivel, and you usually use it with an inline lead. Use it about that long. Thanks for that, Stephen Borum. A little hint about tea lights there, that they're mostly petroleum based and burn off black crap. Use the beeswax tea lights. Thank you very much for that, Stephen Brown. 234 Cheese says, I wonder if you can preserve boilies in salt for long periods. Yes, you can. Most preservatives are salt derived. Salt is in most preservatives, or it is high content in its different forms and what people than what bait companies use. Sammy Rona says, how much are your black chicken hoodies? All the black chicken hoodies are $29.99, and then if you go 3XL to 5XL, they're £30.99. That includes postage and packaging. Evening, Richard Edney. Yeah, I'd love to go to Slovenia. I'm hoping to get there in the next couple of years as well, Sean. No, I've shared the love with the square rig, P Grimmet, in the Eternal Facebook page. I haven't done a video on it yet. Adam Hollins says, Tutti Frutti Minis, can you still get them? I'm not sure. I think someone said to me that Hinders have actually bought the recipe or the flavouring or something like that, and they do them. So that's where I'd try. That's the one. Thanks, Sean Castle. Yeah, he's Hinders. Yep, Dominic Carter says the carp rest themselves in the waters in the winter and spawning season. Good luck catching. Yep, it can be very difficult after spawning and in the winter. There you go, Brian Mills. It only takes one bite. Facebook group. Have a look in there. Peter Carroll says, which hooks do you use, barbless or barbed? I use barbed. I don't like barbless hooks. Oh, let's try and skip up some of these messages, but I'm well behind with them. Hinders Doom, Keith Oatley said, yep, definitely. How far north I've fished? The furthest north I've fished is Willows near Leeds. Paul Butterworth says, Leon, do you fish tight or slack lines in the winter? Depends how far out I'm fishing. The closer in, the slacker in I'll be fishing. Evening, Josh Deviser. I didn't do a video on the square rig yet. It's just a couple of images that I put up there. Fenland Carper says, love your videos, mate. They help us a lot. Thank you very much. I appreciate all your really good feedback that I get, and I'll just keep on doing them. 276 people still in the room, blimey. Jack Gardner says, have you noticed that some fisheries have started to ban plastic baits? Is there a reason why? Tell you the reason why some fisheries ban them is because you imagine you tie a rig up, you put 2 plastic bits of sweet corn on there, you cast it out, it's always fishing out there. It's always going to be out there. It doesn't, like a boilie, disintegrate. It's always going to be out there. So that's why some of them have banned them. Yeah, Paul Watts says, Hinders do tutti frutti Italian. Here's a nice little tip for you guys. What I use, all my winter pop-ups, no matter what flavour they are, I always give them a little drop of Talin every couple of trips to soak it in. And my plastic hook baits, I put a bit of Talin into there as well. Lee said, what's your opinion on square leads amplifying the drop compared to pair leads? Don't know. I haven't. No. If it helps you feel better, if it helps you feel better, then yeah, give them a go. Jack Evans says his local lake has banned boilies. Any reasons? Could be that your local lake's run by matchmen and they don't like carp anglers. Thanks, Mike Swift. Lifelong Vlog says, have you ever pike fished many years ago? Leon, would you use foam bugs on a stiff hinge rig 2 inches off the bottom? I haven't used them, but I can't see why it wouldn't work, because they take the little bits of foam and the bugs when you're zig fishing, so it could well work, couldn't it? Farron White says, bought an EC Power Pack after your test. Excellent bit of kit. All your tests are good. True perspective of the product. Thank you very much, Farron. It means a lot to get really good feedback like that. P. Grimmer says, Talin, does it have to be on a sweet or fruity boilie? It doesn't matter what the flavour is. It's just for pop-ups, and I only use it for winter. Sean Castle says, ball leads are always good for feeling the drop. I believe they were. They used them many years ago on the... people use them on their rigs, but on their marker as well. I used to use a ball lead on my marker. Don't know what. And I think I still do, actually. Chris Burns says, how do you keep occupied but on the bank? Most of the time, I'm looking for fish. Matty Rushton says, Brian, why is talent... Oh, Brian, a question for Brian. Why is talent so expensive? There is a shortage of talent at the moment. It's just a very expensive... it's actually a powder that gets made into a liquid. Godwin Carpet says, any difference talent to betylene? I think it's more or less the same thing, because the actual company product name is Talin. So that's just their take on it, betylene. Kevin Thorpe says, hi Leon, how do you make your fluorocarbon leaders, and thoughts on the German rig? I've never used a German rig. How do I make my fluorocarbon leaders? I just use £18 or £22 or whatever it is off the spool. There you go. Betylene is talent with betaine added. Chris Burns says, are the adjustable zigs easy to use? They take a little while to get used to, that's for sure. Patterson Padwork Program says, how to approach a reservoir in winter? I would say, Dan, just try and find the fish. Thanks, Graham. Tony Lesser says, hi, have you had a bite during filming, broadcasting? That'd be fun. I did. On the very first live feed that we done, I was at the Northern Lake, the deep pit, and we had one on zigs. And I had to go. How long do I do them? If you watch my fluorocarbon, if you watch my fluorocarbon video from last week, I usually use them 2 wraps, which is 24 foot. Dominic Carter says he bought the Terra Hiker stove after Leon's review. Excellent power stove. I didn't like my eyebrows anyway. I hope so, Tommy Duke. I hope I can nick a fish before I go home tomorrow. Aaron Paul says, do you use tubing or naked when using a fluoro leader? I use naked, but I usually have a lead core, about 1.5 foot, 2 foot maximum lead core on the end. Carl Williams says, do you put any putty on a fluoro leader for extra weight? No, I don't put anything on the leader. Paul Watson says, Leon, have you ever used a hemp rig? No, I haven't, Paul, but it's something I should use, because it's, you know, they don't get caught in hemp, do they? Peter Marriott, tight lines, no problem. Godwin Carpet says, what's your view on the Nash hooks complete with swivel? Not really my thing, really. Joel says, what knot you join the fluoro to the main line? I use a back-to-back grinner. I'll be doing a video on the knot I use for leaders, and just putting any 2 bits of line, even with my little combi rigs, I use the back-to-back grinner. Temperature here, Andrew, the water temperature is about 5.1 at the moment. Good luck, Dominic. Let us know how you get on. What I had for tea tonight, Chris, we had steak and vegetables. Paul Luce says, Leon, have you ever tried Christ and bogey with your particle approach? No, I've never, but it's something I've always been a mind to try, but just never got round to it. Jordan Stratton says, have I got the multis on, mate? Pretty much the only rig he uses now. No, I've got the little combi rig on with little 10mm pop-ups. Good luck, Matthew Randall, on Sunday when you're out. He's in the bag. Well, he's not, Dean, look. He's still on that bone. He's still munching on that bone, bless him. Oh, Sean Felly is on the Pads Lake this weekend. Any pointers? I'll just try and find the fish. You've got a really good chance of getting a winter bite on there. I'd probably go with singles, or maybe put a little bit of bait out. You should be able to see them on there as well. Walk around the margins, you should be able to see them moving about. My biggest fish is 57 pounds something from France. I'll be giving that a go, Paul. Thanks for the heads up on that. It's definitely a good little trick that. Use the old Christ and bogey. Lenny B said, what about using little match baits? Do you think it's worth a go for a change? Yes, most definitely, Lenny. Depends on what the silverfish and bream and roach are like, or on your thing. No problem, Oak Carp. It's not snowing yet, Matt Jones, but it might well do later. John Jackson has just done his VAT return, so he's come in a bit late. Gotta feel your pain, John. Thanks, Mark Beavers, for popping in. Put temp in ladies' tights, works the same. Matty Rushton, thanks for the tip. Dave Boo says, does your back get bad sitting on the edge of your bed as mine kills me? Can invest in a buddy chair. I used to have a buddy chair, but it's just something else to take, isn't it? I normally sit back like this. Right, guys, we're 57 minutes in. Just the last few messages before I go, last few questions. Don't forget, if you like the hoodies, you like the cups, all helps the channel, all helps me buy the stuff to review. Go and check it all out, and the bobble outs and everything else at www.leoncarper.com. If you want to come into our close Facebook group, which is a brilliant group, loads of really good guys in there giving loads of really good information. You can ask any question. No question is a silly question in there. You won't get ridiculed or anything. Do a search on your Facebook page for It Only Takes One Bite. Request an invitation to come in and we'll get you in. Ask as many questions as you like on there. I've got another video coming out tomorrow about high and low pressures, how the weather affects the carp and what rigs you should use depending on what the pressure is. And Friday, I've got the Calder Tackle Safe review coming out. And we will be back for the next live feed next Sunday. Not Saturday, it will be next Sunday. I like doing it on the Sunday so much, because it gives me my weekend free then, that we should be back next Sunday for the next live feed. So guys, once again, if you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And I wish you a very happy Tuesday night. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. If you're out fishing, hope you catch something, and I'll see you for the next live stream and the next vlog. Have a brilliant evening, guys. Appreciate you all.